Ah yes, the downfall of Warzone Mobile. Okay, obviously it's not the actual downfall, don't get your gulag in a twist, but the bugs and glitches in this game do give off early access chaos vibes. Today we're looking at the funniest, weirdest and most broken moments people have found. And yeah, I've got a few of my own to throw in. Let's dive in and see just how polished this game really is.
Close it in, proceed to the safe zone.
Alright, so here's a fun one shared by Reddit user Subhan Aslam. My guy loads up the game and instead of the usual flashy menu with game modes, skill levels and all that jazz, all he gets is his character standing there awkwardly in front of a blurry background. No UI, no options, just vibes. Imagine booting up Warzone Mobile and the game just goes, nah, figure it out yourself mate. Classic. Here's a proper head scratcher from Reddit user DNL12. My guy was playing Resurgence on Rebirth Island, sweating it out in the final circle, when suddenly, boom, the game just decides, that's it, we're done here. No death, no fight, nothing. The game just abruptly ends and hands someone else the win, leaving him stuck in second place. Imagine fighting tooth and nail for the dub, and Warzone Mobile just goes, nah mate, not today. Absolute robbery. Now this one's a proper party trick from Reddit user Commercial Touch 1268. My guy goes to use a loadout drop, and instead of getting his weapons, his UI decides it's time for a disco, flashing on and off like it's hosting its own rave every time he interacts with the drop. Forget getting kitted up, he probably needed sunglasses just to survive the menu. Who needs enemies when your HUD's out here giving you an eye exam? Right, so this gem comes from Reddit user CAssist2546, who apparently got hit with the Psychedelic Graphics glitch of the year. His game decided to turn into some trippy art exhibit, colors, textures and visuals all over the place. Honestly, watching him play looked like I'd taken a handful of mushrooms and wandered into Verdansk. Imagine trying to win a gunfight when the walls are melting and the ground's practically floating. Absolute madness. Now this one's straight from me, Muski, because of course Warzone Mobile couldn't let me off easy. I've had multiple games where I open a chest, expecting the sweet sound of loot spilling out, and instead I get absolutely nothing. Nada. Just an empty chest sitting there mocking me. It's like the game looked at me and said, yeah, good luck mate, you're on your own. Cheers for that Warzone. This one's a proper laugh from Reddit user QueasyBaby8441. My guy's in the gulag, tense, focused, ready to fight for survival, and suddenly, BAM! Sun reflections. Yes, actual sunlight bouncing off surfaces in the gulag. Because clearly the devs thought, you know what this gritty prison arena needs? A lovely bit of atmosphere. Imagine losing your gulag fight because you're too busy squinting at the glare. Unreal. Here's a wild one from Reddit user SureSmoke9226. So my guy's minding his business on Rebirth Island when he looks up and sees a floating door above prison, just casually chilling up there as if it's part of the scenery. No idea why it was there, but clearly the game's gone full who needs logic mode. I mean, what's next? A random chandelier in the sky? At this point anything's possible. Here's one from Reddit user Amir N. Every time this poor bloke tried to access and edit his multiplayer loadouts, the game had other plans. Instead of letting him tweak his weapons, the game would just boot him straight out of the loadout section and throw him back to the main menu. Like, nah mate, you're not messing with your guns today. Go back to the start. Honestly, the game's like that one mate who never lets you change the music at a party.
Requesting recon at my location.
Alright, here's a good one from Reddit user PoetYT. My guy's playing, minding his business, when suddenly, bam, his game looks like it's been hit with a completely different texture pack. The graphics just went full alternate reality, making everything look like it was designed for a completely different game. Honestly, it was like he was playing Warzone Mobile in some kind of abstract art mode. Imagine trying to spot enemies when the world around you's turned into a Picasso painting. Here's a proper nightmare from Reddit user adhesiveness useful84. So my guy's in the thick of it, trying to armor up and get ready for a fight. But guess what? The game decided he wasn't allowed. Every time he tried to slap on some armor, the game just wasn't having it. No plates, no protection, just pure vulnerability. It's like the game was saying, nah mate, you're on your own for this one. Talk about leaving you exposed.
Moving!
Now this one's a beauty from Reddit user infamous package 980. So my guy's playing on Nuketown, minding his business, when suddenly, boom, the grass turns into a bloody chessboard. Yep, you heard that right. The whole grass texture got swapped out and started looking like it belonged in a strategy game, not a battle royale. Imagine trying to hide in the grass, and instead of blending in, you're just looking like a massive game of checkers. Who knew Nuketown was secretly hosting a Grandmaster's chess match, eh? Here's a classic from Reddit user FlakerAK. So every time this poor bloke tried to start a game, the game just said, nah, not today mate. He kept getting stuck on the loading screen, unable to connect. It's like the game just decided it didn't want to let him in, just standing there like a bouncer at a club saying, no entry, you're not on the list. Absolute pain, right? Might as well just watch the game from the sidelines at that point. Here's a good one from Reddit user Phoenix Vision. So, he's looting away when suddenly he spots not one, but two chests stacked on top of each other. It's like the game decided to give him double the loot, but instead of helping, it just made everything awkward. And guess what? I've experienced this too. Just a cheeky little glitch where chests decide to defy gravity. Maybe the loot's feeling a bit extra today? This one's a real gem from Reddit user Ritz007. So he's trying to grab a contract, right? All set, he's running to the spot, but the game's like, not so fast. The contract's in a room that doesn't even exist. He's staring at a blank wall, trying to pick up something that's floating in thin air. It's like the game's trolling him. Nah mate, that room's just a figment of your imagination. Classic glitch move. Here's a nightmare from Reddit user Original Regret 3154. So every time he loaded into a game, he ran into the same issue. Couldn't select his loadout and couldn't even move. He's basically stuck there like a sitting duck, just watching the action unfold while his character's on strike. Imagine trying to get into a fight and the game's like, nah mate, you're having a timeout. Absolute torture. If that doesn't make you regret loading in, I don't know what will. Right, so Reddit user Ritz007 is at it again with another bizarre glitch. This time, every single weapon attachment is showing the same pros and cons. Yeah, you heard that right. No matter which attachment you look at, it's all the same benefits and negatives. It's like the game's gone lazy and just copied and pasted the info. And guess what? I've experienced this too. Can't even figure out what's good for my loadout anymore. Feels like playing Russian roulette with my attachments.
Friendly loadout drop on the way.
Now, this one's a classic from Reddit user Fred Wesker. Every time he tried to open the battle pass, the game just wasn't having it. He'd go to check it out, and bam, instant kick out. Like the game said, nah mate, you're not getting any battle pass rewards today. Honestly, it's like the game's playing hard to get. Who knew unlocking loot could be this much of a struggle?
Gas is closing in. Get to the new safe zone.
Alright, here's a bizarre one from Reddit user Inzex. So, my guy was minding his own business when suddenly, he gets stuck with a bird's eye view of Nuketown. Like he's just chilling, but instead of playing the game, he's floating above the map, watching it from way up high. To make it even better, his HUD starts flashing like it's trying to communicate with aliens. Honestly, looks like the game couldn't decide if it was a battlefield or a nature documentary. Alright, this one's a double dose from Reddit user Amir N. He's back with another bug that's just ridiculous. So, his FPS drops to a crawl, right? We're talking lower than a snail's pace. Then, his HUD starts flashing like it's having a meltdown, and to make matters worse, his teammates go completely invisible. It's like playing with a bunch of ghosts, while your screen's having a rave party. Definitely not the squad play you're after, mate. And that's a wrap on today's Wild Bug and Glitch Showcase, folks. As you can see, Warzone Mobile's got a few interesting bugs to work out, but hey, it's all part of the fun, right? If you've got any crazy glitches of your own, drop them in the comments. I'd love to see them. And don't worry, part 2 is coming soon, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Catch you next time, where the chaos continues.